Hey, Steve here with Action Coach, and I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about the difference between leadership and management. You see, leadership is one of the biggest problems in business, not because leadership is bad, because there's lack of management leading to leadership. So I'd like to share with you some of the things that I've learned from my business mentor, Action Coach founder Brad Sugars, about the differences between management and leadership. I've owned and operated the Northeast Florida of Action Coach since 2004, and really one of over 1,000 offices in over 70 different countries. And we help business owners just like you work smarter, not harder. So what would it feel like if your business really finally gave you more than you put into it? Wouldn't it be nice to have a business that works without you, that you have a team of customer focused individuals who deliver on your company's promise, even when you're not there? Wouldn't it be great to have the time to enjoy your family, to have a real work-life balance, and where you could live the best business life? Well, I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas and strategies to help you get there. At any time during this video, and you feel like that, you want to have a chat about your business, or just have some questions for me, click on the link to the right and book a half-hour Zoom call with me. All right, let's get started. So many of us find the golden, or are trying to find the golden goose of leadership. We read books, we've gone to seminars, we watched the latest TED Talk on leadership. And if you go to the bookstore, you go to Amazon, there's a massive amount of books on leadership, but there are very few books on management. And if we think about it, I think the last best-selling book on management was probably The 1 Minute Manager, that was in the late 70s or 80s. So let's take a look and define what the differences are between leadership and management. See, management is about creating competent and productive people. They have a level of competence. They know what they're doing, and they know how to do their jobs. It's as simple as that. If a company has a group of people that don't know what they're doing, there's a lack of competency or productivity going on in the organization, and that's a management issue. So let's flip it to the other side of the coin and take a look at leadership. Leadership is about creating passionate and focused people. If the people in the organization lack passion and motivation to do their job, and they're not focused on what they need to be doing, that's a leadership issue. So the challenge that I see in most businesses that they have today is that the business might have been built very well, but just from a leadership perspective. But because of lack of management, we got people that aren't really good at their jobs, and they're not that productive. They're passionate and they're excited but they're just not getting the results that you want in the business. So how do you get the results that you want in your business? This isn't brain surgery. It's not really that complex. But, one of the things I've seen throughout my career is if someone gets promoted to be a manager, in a company, they don't really get much management training. In most cases, they got promoted because it was assumed they had those skills. And one of the biggest challenges is they face is that transition from being just like one of those guys to now they're the boss. So in this day and age there's really a lack of management training, and it's really high out there. So why is it? It's simply because businesses don't give management training to their staff. Maybe management got a bad rap somewhere in the 90s or in the early 2000s. Back then the mantra was, you don't need to manage your people, we just need to lead them. It's like leadership was saying that management was like a bad thing or something, right? But to get the job done, we need competent and productive people if we want the job done in our business. We need to learn management skills. We need to understand what those management skills are and how they work. So let's focus on both leadership and management. See, management is where we start, because if we see negative behaviors in the organization, normally that's a lack of management. And when there's a lack of management, I see that managers they're in denial of how competent they really are. They think that they're better than they are. And what I see is there's a lack of responsibility. There's people blaming others. There's no team cohesiveness. A lot of these issues are around lack of management. So in reality, most people are just lazy managers. There, I said it. If you give someone a task, but you don't give them a time frame or a schedule or a plan to get it done by, do you have a system to manage your people and to do their task? Or are you just winging it? A friend of mine once said, is like, winging it is not a strategy. So in reality, most people are just lazy managers. They just give someone a task, but they don't give them a time frame or a schedule or a plan to get it done by. And then what do? Then we complain that they don't get it done on time and they're not doing it right. So we got to do it ourselves, right? So let's take a look at how we can become good managers and how we can operate as good leaders. So there's 4 keys to a good manager. First is creating clarity on how to perform their job. The second also evolves around clarity. It's creating clarity on what needs to be achieved. Then there's asking questions, good questions, and then providing ongoing training. So right now, I just want to really focus on the first 2 of those keys that have to do with clarity. So does your team know how to perform their job well? Do they actually know what their job is? So this is an exercise I always like to do with new clients is, if I were to ask your top 10 employees to write a list of what they think their job is and what you're looking to get them to accomplish, and at the same time, you write that same list, do you think that list is going to be the same? See, most employees don't actually know what what specifically is required of them in their job. Their job description is way too vague. There's no reality about what they actually are doing and why they're doing it. Or if they maybe know what to do, do they know what the actual outcome is that you are expecting? So management starts with a really good detailed job description, or really what I call it is a positional agreement. So in a good job description, there's like 4 or 5 key things that we need to put in it. First, we need to let them know, what are they responsible for? Who are they accountable to? How do they do it? Why are they supposed to do it? And then what's the expected outcome when they do their job well? And that's very important. So, give your people checklists and systems. This will allow them to be competent in what they are doing so they deliver the actual results that you expect. So good management starts when people know what their job is, what is expected of them, at what level they're expected to do it, basically performance standards. And then really the key is making sure that there's a specific time frame that it should get done. They should always be told why they are doing it. Why is this important? How does this fit into the big wheel of what we are trying to accomplish for our clients? And when you give someone a job and you don't agree upon a time frame or when they need to finish that job, that is just lazy management. So some people really call that micromanaging. Yes, some of our employees need to be micromanaged until we build their competence and their ability to do it. You don't have to do it forever, but this is part of the coaching, training, managing, and the mentoring of these people so they could actually become good and productive at their job so you don't have to do it anymore, right? And it's done in the way that you expect. So this is not brain surgery, but a good management needs structure, a system, and a plan. So if I could help you, don't hesitate to click on this link to schedule a half-hour Zoom call to discuss strategies on how to implement some of this stuff in your business, or just maybe answer some of the questions you have. So I hope you've taken away some good and some new ideas that will help you get better at the game of business. Hope to chat with you soon.